Cricket Pals, Lester and Chuck, what are we doing to the Chevrolet?
Well, it has a common problem. What is that?
We got a VVT solenoid problem with it, because especially with the 3.6 liter Chevy.
Okay, so this is a 3.6 engine. They use this engine in a lot of different combinations, right?
Correct. This one just happens to be sitting in line this way, where normally they're sitting sideways.
Right, that's the difference. When you look at this, folks, normally you're not seeing it from this direction. Okay, so
that's because it's a rear-wheel drive pickup truck. See, now the VVTs, with our variable valve timing components, what they control is the advancing and retarding of the timing in the engine, so they can affect how the engine performs.
And what typically happens? You guys obviously sold VVTs on these, right?
Correct.
And why is that? Why did they fail?
What happens is if the customer doesn't stay on top of the oil change, the oil gets all gunky and everything, and it causes the VVT solenoids that control the oil flow that changes the cam phasers to advance or retard the cam. It can do that to each individual cam, depending on what the computer feels like the car needs in order to run the smoothest and optimize power. So what happens is you get all carboned up and gunked up in there, and then they don't move. So then we got to go in and change them out because you can't open them up and clean them.
Now, when we're talking about a VVT, where is that located at, Lester?
We got two here and two underneath the intake over here.
Okay.
They have them for advancing timing and retarding timing on exhaust and intake. So this thing is retarding or advancing timing on intake and exhaust strokes of the engine.
Now you guys are saying that people need to change the oil more, but you know the recommendation for Chevrolet is about every 10,000 miles on these cars, right?
Oh no. If you're on a test track constantly going all the time, hey, that's fine. But when you're in real world situations, stop, go, stop, go, stop, go, you don't have the cooling down that you would say on a test track. So 6,000 miles is pushing it.
Okay, so you really need to change these. Chevrolet may say 10,000 miles, but you have to look at your driving habits, and you have to change accordingly to that.
And these components are on most every make and model today. So it's not just a Chevrolet, it's a Ford, it's a European car, it's any number of vehicles that have VVTs. It's a common system and it's a common failure. Even Hondas, Toyotas, they all have variable valve timing components.
Well, and we did a diesel motorhome, a Mercedes, a couple of weeks ago, and that had a variable valve timing on the diesel, right?
That is correct.
And that one failed as well.
It did. So it's a common failure. It's real common if you don't take and change your oil on a regular basis.
And folks, you know, if you've got one of these cars, it doesn't mean that it's a bad car. It just means look at your driving habits and change the oil. Just cut it in half. Whatever Chevrolet says, cut that in half. The engine will love you to death if you do that. The other thing you can do is a fuel system tune-up, right?
Correct. Put fuel additive and stuff in there every so often. Help clean that, because who knows what happens at these gas stations. Stuff gets in their tanks and stuff, it gets into your tank, and then you're trying to push it through the system.
So folks, you look at an oil change, the price of an oil change, and you look at the price of this repair. This is about what, $2,500?
About $2,000.
About $2,000. So you can change your oil more frequently and spend that $2,000 over time, or you can change your oil on time and then spend $2,000 on top of it. Folks, do regular maintenance of these and they'll take good care of you. See you soon.